Somewhere along the lines, someone told you to be realistic, to play it safe, to shrink your dream down so it didn't make others uncomfortable. You folded your dream so small you could fit into someone else's idea of success. You buried your fire just to blend it in with people who were never gonna see you anyway. That voice, that version of you, it died a long time ago. So don't listen to it. Not now. Not ever again. Because life, it doesn't hand you the dream. It hands you distractions. It hands you critics. It hands you pain. And if you're not ready, it will keep swinging until you surrender. You ever wonder why you're stuck? Why you feel like you're trying and nothing moves? It's not because you're weak. It's because you forgot what you're capable of. You can start from rock bottom and still rise to the top. Conor McGregor started on welfare, slept in his car. No spotlight, no sponsorship. Just a fire that refused to go out. Steve Harvey lost his family, lived out his car, used a lunchbox as a fridge and a Bible as his blueprint. Tyler Perry wrote the same play for 6 years, flopped 9 times. They laughed at him. Now he owns a studio bigger than Disney's in Atlanta. Eminem was broke, booed, and denied by every label. Now he's the reason half of them exist. These weren't overnight successes. They were just people. People who refused to lock the door on their dream. At some point, you stopped hoping someone saves you and you decide this is it. This is your year, your rise, your reroute. Because no one's coming to do it for you. And that's not a curse, that's your permission. So if you've given up on your dream, if you buried it in doubt, fear, or failure, it's time to dig it back up. You're not behind, you're not too late, you're just early in the story. You don't lack talent, you don't lack purpose, you lack one thing: permission. And this is your permission. You're allowed to want it. You're allowed to go all in. You're allowed to make this real. You only fail the moment you quit, not when you fall, not when you break, only when you stop showing up. Because most people don't fail because they weren't good enough. They fail because they believe the voices that told them they weren't. Doubt is loud, but your dream doesn't need to shout. It just needs you to listen. I know it's hard. I know your account's in the red. I know you cry in silence and still show up for everyone else. I know you wake up tired, grind through the day, and wonder if anyone even notices. But listen to me. If you give it everything you've got, if you keep showing up even when it's dark, even when it's lonely, even when no one claps, it will work out. It might cost you. You might live on ramen. You might break down your car with nothing but a half-charged phone and a dream no one believes in. But if you keep running, if you keep fighting, your dream will outlive your doubt. Discipline isn't sexy, it's silent. It's early mornings, late nights, no applause. It's choosing not to quit 1,000 times in a row. But it's what separates those who talk from the ones who rise. You didn't fall, you fell. And failing isn't failure, it's proof you were moving. Every bruise you carry, it means you showed up. Every scar, it means you survived. So don't just wear the pain, own it, reopen that door. Not just for the dream, but for the version of you who refused to quit. You didn't come this far to stop here. You didn't survive all that pain to quit before the breakthrough. The world doesn't need another quitter. It needs your comeback. So don't give up. You might have fallen. You might have fell off the track. But this isn't your ending. This is your reroute. Every scar, it's proof you survived. Maybe you felt it too. The quiet uncertainty, the big questions. Am I on the right path? Am I where I want to be? Will I ever feel truly happy? Am I a good person or not? For years, I've searched for answers. I worked hard. I did everything I was supposed to do. I thought clarity would come, but it never did. Because these aren't the questions you answer once, they're questions you live. And through all the uncertainty, I've realized something. There is a way to find yourself, a way to move forward without the constant second guessing, a way to quiet the fear of the unknown. And that's why I want to share with you today. But before we dive in, let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly listened to yourself? Not the outside voices, not the expectations, just you. By the end of this video, you might see yourself and your choices differently. So let's begin with a story. A story about a train. There's an old psychological dilemma called the trolley problem. A train speeds down the tracks. Up ahead, 2 paths. On one track, 5 people. On the other, 1. You have control over a switch. If you do nothing, the train stays its course, taking 5 lives. But if you pull the lever, you redirect the train, sacrificing 1 to save the others. No matter what you do, there's a cost. So what do you choose? Now here's where it gets interesting. What if the train isn't just a thought experiment, but your own life? On one track is the safe, predictable path. College, a steady 9 to 5, the road most people take. On the other is the uncertain path, the risk of entrepreneurship, the pursuit of passion, the unknown. No matter what you choose, something's getting left behind. And if you think choosing is hard, not choosing is worse. Because when you stand still, life keeps moving. And if you don't pull the lever, life will make the choice for you. But here's the part we don't talk about. What happens after the choice? What if, after taking the risk, you realize the new path is just as uncertain as the old one? What if the fear of making the wrong choice keeps you trapped, unable to fully commit to the road ahead? This is what holds so many people back. Not just the fear of choosing, but the fear of regretting the choice they made. But here's what I've learned. No choice is ever final. We act like pulling the lever locks us into one direction forever. But life isn't a straight path. It's a winding road. And sometimes you can switch tracks again. Sometimes you can rebuild the rails yourself. The people who achieve the most in life aren't the ones who always make the right choice. They're the ones who decide, adapt, and move forward regardless. That's the aha moment. You're never truly stuck. You've always had a choice. I want you to think about that for a moment, because realizing this changes everything. But that leaves us with one big question. How do you know what path to take? Because even when you realize you have a choice, knowing what choice to choose is another battle entirely. The truth is, there's no right choice. Only the one that aligns with who you are. And the best way to figure that out? Start with what you know you don't want. I knew I didn't want to wake up every day feeling drained by my work. I knew I couldn't live a life that felt like I was just passing time. I didn't have all the answers. I didn't know exactly where the other path would lead. But I knew I couldn't stay where I was. So I pulled the lever. I chose the unknown. Not because I was fearless, not because I was certain, but because sometimes life doesn't ask for certainty. It asks for courage. Courage to move before you're ready. Courage to trust yourself, even when no one else understands. Courage to build a future that doesn't yet exist. And here's something else I've realized. You don't need to see the whole path to take the first step. Most people wait. They wait for a sign, for proof, or some kind of guarantee that they're making the right decision. But life doesn't work like that. You don't get a guarantee before you leap. You take the first step, and then, piece by piece, the path reveals itself. Every great story, every life-changing moment started with someone taking a step without knowing where it would lead. And that's the truth. Action brings clarity, not the other way around. So let me ask you, what's a step you've been afraid to take? Think about it. Because maybe it's time. So you pull the lever, you make a decision. Maybe it's the safe path. Maybe it's the risky one. And for a moment, you feel relief. Like you've finally taken control, like you're moving forward. But then, something strange happens. You start looking ahead, wondering, is this really it? You see others on a different track, moving faster, doing better. And you start thinking, did I choose wrong? Should I have waited for something more? That's when you realize happiness isn't the destination. It's just a stop along the way. And yet, we keep chasing it. We keep telling ourselves, once I get there, oh, I'll be happy. But the truth is, happiness isn't something we reach. It's something we experience in the moment. Maybe the problem isn't the chase itself. Maybe it's the way we see it. Maybe instead of chasing happiness, we should be mastering something deeper. Ourselves. Maybe fulfillment isn't in the arrival, it's in the movement. Maybe it's not about getting somewhere, but about learning to walk with purpose no matter where the path leads. We ask, am I on the right path? But maybe there is no right path, only the one you choose to walk. We ask, will I ever be happy? But maybe happiness isn't a destination. It's a moment, a series of moments. We ask, am I a good person? But maybe being good isn't about perfection. It's about how you use your power. So stop rejecting your power. Refine it, own it, harness it. Because at the end of the day, it's not about which wolf wins. It's about who trains the wolves. And that's the ultimate realization. You are not powerless. You are not lost. You are the one holding the lever. You are the one training the wolves. You are the architect of your own story. Not maybe, not someday, right now. Whether you choose it or not, you are already building your story. The only question is, are you doing it with intention? So now I ask you, what's one decision you made that shaped who you are today? Drop in the comments below, because sharing your story is a part of owning it. Everyone eventually meets a version of themselves they can no longer escape. Exhausted by pretending, worn down by doubts, tired of holding it all inside. I've been there. I spent years waking up to a stranger in the mirror. Nights spent staring at the ceilings, feeling like an imposter in my own life. Smiling on the outside, screaming on the inside. I can still remember the unsettling whisper when I was alone. Who am I really? Do I even belong here? Let me tell you the turning point that changed everything for me. No one is coming to save you. Not your parents, not your friends, not some mythical mentor. It's on you. At first, that hit me like a punch to the gut. But then I realized it was incredibly liberating. It meant the power to change, the power to become, was in my hands all along. We all fight wars no one else sees. The greatest battle is the one within, the battle between the current you and the potential you. On one side is the you that wakes up afraid you're not good enough, the you that's tempted to settle, to stay down. On the other side is the faint voice daring you to want more, the you that refuses to quit. Which side have you been feeding? I ask because for a long time, I fed my fears. I let them define me. I heard that voice. You're not enough, just give up. And I answered it by retreating. By day, I put on a smile, but when I was alone, the darkness took over. I nearly surrendered. If you're in that place right now, understand this. You are not the only one. We often suffer in silence. Society taught us to show no fear, which somehow got twisted into hiding our pain. But hiding isn't strength. Holding it in is not the same as holding it up. I had to learn that the hard way. The day I finally said, I'm struggling, was the day I began to fight back properly. It's okay to struggle. It's okay to be unsure. What's not okay is to stop fighting the battle within. Because if you give up on yourself, you've already lost. There came a moment when I looked in the mirror, tired of my own reflection. I was sick of the weak version of me dictating my life. That morning, I finally called myself out. No more. I won't be a prisoner to my own mind another day. It wasn't a Hollywood epiphany with soaring music. It was quiet, almost cold even. I simply decided to fight back. That was the start of a new chapter. They say you have to break down before you break through. My breaking point came when I realized I felt more pain staying the same than I would risking changing. Perhaps you're near that point too. If you are, good. Don't fear it. That pain is your fuel. Think about it. The disappointment, the frustration, the loneliness can either chain you or change you. It can be the anger that drowns you or the fire that forges you. You choose. I chose to see my pain as purpose. Each day I woke up with that hollow ache, I told myself, this means I'm alive. This means something in me still cares. That alone is powerful. Because if you still care, you still have a reason to fight. So I made a promise. No more running. No more running from the truth of who I was or from the work I needed to do to become who I wanted to be. I stopped running and turned to face the storm. Let me share a quick story. A story that changed my perspective. There's a lesson from nature. It's about buffalo and a storm. When a storm rolls over the plains, cattle run away from it frightened. But the storm always catches them, and by trying to outrun it, they actually prolong their suffering in the rain. Buffalo, on the other hand, do something incredible. They charge into the storm straight through. By doing so, they minimize their time in the downpour and emerge on the other side stronger. In life, we often act like cattle, running from our problems, our fears, our truths. I did. I ran from responsibility, from vulnerability, and I stayed in the storm far longer than I had to. The day I decided to be the buffalo, to face everything head on, was the day I started getting through my storm. The fastest way out of pain is through it. So I ask you, what storm in your life do you need to face? What have you been running from? Is it a conversation you fear? A dream you've been postponing? A part of yourself you've been denying? Whatever it is, decide right now to stop running. Turn around and face it. Charge into that storm. It will be hard. I won't lie to you. Storms hurt, battles leave scars. But those scars you'll earn, they will be your badge of honor. They'll tell the world, and more importantly yourself, that you were stronger than what tried to break you. Your scars are proof that you survived, proof that you refused to be defeated. And as I often remind myself now, scars are just tattoos of victories you won. Picture this. After weeks and months of confronting my fears, I woke up one day, looked in that same mirror, and for the first time, I recognized the person looking back. Not because all my problems are gone. Life is never that neat. But because I saw pride in my own eyes. I had my own back. I was fighting for me, not against me. This is a feeling no one can give you except you, and no one can take it away either. I want you to have that. Now we arrive in the pivotal moment. Your moment. The part of the story where the hero rises. And that hero is you. Yes, you. The same you who doubted, who fell down, who thought he wasn't enough. The you who made mistakes and carried regrets. He's still here, and he's about to do something incredible. He's about to stand up, shake off the dust, and step into the person he was meant to be. No more excuses. You owe it to yourself to give your dream a chance. You owe it to the kid you once were, who had big hopes before the world said to shrink, to be the person you needed. You owe it to the future you, the old soul you'll become, to look back with pride, not regret. Every decision from this point is a brushstroke on the canvas of who you will become. So choose boldly. Choose to be great, not in the shallow sense of fame or wealth, but great in character, in resilience, in heart. Remember this mantra: I will not stop. I will not stop. I will not stop. Say it in your mind if you have to. This is not the end of your story. It's the start of a new chapter. The struggle you're in now is the plot twist that makes the hero rise. So rise. When life knocks you down, and it will, remember why you started this fight. Remember that mirror, that storm, that promise. Get back up. Each time, every time, rise. You might be thinking, it's not that simple. You don't know my problems. You're right. I don't know every detail of what you're facing. But I do know the strength that lives within you. Because it lies within all of us. It's the same strength that has carried mankind through every hardship in history. It's in your DNA, the will to overcome. And when you tap into it, when you decide to ignite that fire, nothing can stop you. Not for long anyway. There is power in you haven't even met yet. There is a king or queen in you, a warrior in you, a gentle giant in you. Let that person out. The world needs that unique power that only you can wield. You need it to become fully alive. Think of the person you admire most. Maybe a public figure, a family member, or even a fictional hero. What qualities do you see in them? Courage? Maybe kindness? Discipline? Vision? Now realize, those qualities are available to you. They are muscles that strengthen with use. So start using them. Be the person you admire. Be your own hero. Because at the end of the day, when you strip away the noise, the social media, the comparisons, the expectations, it comes down to you in that mirror. You and your reflection, and only you will know if you gave it your all or not. The worst regret is meeting the person you could have been and knowing you gave up. I don't want that for you. And I know you don't want that for yourself. So today, make the choice. Draw the line in the sand. Say, enough. I'm done being less than I can be. Not in a year, not tomorrow, but now. Decide what the first step is, however small, and take it now. You won't feel ready. That's okay. Do it scared. Do it unsure. Just do it, and you'll find your footing along the way. You started this video perhaps feeling lost, uncertain of your identity and worth. But hear me, you are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not your doubts. You are what you choose to become starting today. Identity isn't found. It's forged day by day, action by action. Each time you refuse to quit, you are forging the identity of a resilient warrior. Each time you show compassion instead of hate, you forge the identity of a hero. Every dawn you get up when you could have stayed down, you forge the identity of a champion. And when someone asks in the future, how did you become who you are? You'll smile, because they won't know the battles you fought in silence, the storms you weathered, but you will know. You'll know that you earned every bit of strength in your soul. That battle within, you're going to win it. One bloody, hard-fought day at a time, because you decided to fight, and that's all it takes to eventually win. No, it's not easy, but nothing worth becoming ever is. This is your life we're talking about, your one shot to fully live. So fight for it. Fight for you, the real you, the one that's been screaming inside to be let out, the creative you, the bold you, the loving you, the disciplined you. Let the warrior out. Unleash the champion. From this moment on, define yourself on your terms, not by the voices of others, not by your fears. You decide who you are and show the world through your actions. I won't tell you the journey is short or painless, but I promise you this, it will be worth it. One day you'll look back and thank the version of you that decided to step up and change. You'll realize that darkness you went through was not your end, but your beginning. So stand tall. Stand and step forward into the person you were born to be. The world may or may not applaud you, but that doesn't matter. When you go to bed at night, you'll close your eyes knowing today you honored your true self. And that, my friend, is a victory no one can ever take from you. You're here because you know you meant more. Because deep down, you feel the pull of a greater destiny, even if your journey feels stuck in endless motion. In this video, you'll receive a wake-up call while discovering the 3 transformative steps that'll cut you through the noise, refocus your energy, and finally set you on the path to the destination you deserve. Because I know you work, I know you grind, and I know you sacrifice. But no matter what you do, nothing is changing. Am I right? You push yourself to exhaustion. You tell yourself this time will be different. Yet, every morning, you wake up in the same place, and the worst part, you don't know why. You look around and you see others moving. You see them moving forward, them winning, them evolving. And deep down, you wonder, what am I missing? Because motion is not progress. A hamster runs in its wheel, yet it remains trapped. A car revs its engine, yet stays in park. And you You're running, but you're not truly moving. If you don't figure out what's really holding you back, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you'll be in the exact same place. Only this time, you'll be even more tired, more frustrated, and time, well, it will have slipped through your fingers. But it doesn't have to be this way. There's a pattern, a cycle that keeps people stuck. And once you see it, you can break free. Most people never realize what's happening. But you are here. That means you're ready. Here's what you need to understand. Most people, they mistake motion for progress. That's the first trap. And then there's the real reason they stay stuck. Something they don't even see. And finally, there's the shift that breaks the cycle forever. Most people will hear this and they'll keep running in circles, but a few will finally see the truth and break free. The choice is yours. This might be the most important thing you hear today. Now, as your journey begins to unfold, allow these steps to guide you forward. The first step is the illusion of progress. Most people never stop to ask, where am I actually going? They simply run, grind, and push forward, mistakenly believing that speed alone will get them there. But it doesn't matter how fast you move if you're heading in the wrong direction. Imagine climbing a ladder surmounting every obstacle, only to discover that it's leaning against the wrong wall. This is why people get stuck. They don't lack effort, they lack direction. Consider how many confuse busy activity with a true accomplishment. They fill their days checking off tasks and playing in endless hours. Yet at the end of the day, nothing changes. They tell themselves, at least I'm working hard, at least I'm trying. But without clear direction, all that effort is wasted energy. Then it becomes clear, some people who work less than you, they're further ahead, not because they're inherently smarter or more talented, but because they understand a truth most people never will. Think about the difference between a light bulb and a laser beam. A light bulb shines with unfocused energy, while a laser concentrates its power in a single point and it cuts through steel. So ask yourself, where is your energy really going? Are you scattering it across countless tasks, or are you channeling it towards the powerful goal? If hard work alone isn't the answer, then what is it? This realization paves the way to the next essential insight. Step 2. The real reason you're stuck. If grinding harder isn't the answer, then what is it? You're not stuck because you're not moving. You're stuck because your energy is scattered. Consider the endless chasing, pursuing everything and catching nothing. You convince yourself, I just need to do more. But you need to do less, more intelligently, more purposefully. You believe that hard work conquers all, yet unfocused hard work is merely wasted potential. Picture this. You're shooting arrows at a target. The archer pulls back the bowstring, tense and steady. But instead of aiming at one clear bullseye, you're blindfolded, spinning in circles, shooting randomly. 50 shots and not one finds the mark. Now envision you taking only 5 precise intentional shots. That's the you that wins every time. Because success isn't about doing the most. It's about doing the right things in the right way at the right time. This insight is often elusive, yet you're beginning to grasp it. Next, I need you to discover how to put this truth into action. Step 3 is the fix, the shift that changes everything. See, you've been taught that to succeed you must do more. More work, more hustle, more sacrifice. But what if the real key to success isn't adding more? It's about removing what doesn't belong. Imagine a sculptor staring at a massive block of marble. With a clear vision and steady hands, he lifts his chisel. The first strike echoes. A sculptor creates a masterpiece not by piling on more stone, but by removing everything that obscures the vision. Just as a laser isn't powerful merely because it shines bright, but because it's focused, your life operates in the same way. If you want to break free, if you want to create real change, you need a bigger to-do list. You need a not to-do list. So first, you need to begin by identifying what's stealing your energy, what drains you without moving forward. The second thing you need to do is cut the noise, saying no to tasks that spread you too thin and chasing what doesn't matter. And finally, you need to commit to one thing, pouring every resource into the goal that truly matters. Remember, success isn't about speed, it's about direction. In reality, most people are running fast in the wrong direction. Now you need to reflect on this. What's one thing in your life that, if you focused on it, could change everything? That is the answer you've been seeking. This is what you must commit to. Your future self is watching. The person you want to be is waiting. Every decision you make now shapes your future. Choose wisely. Stop waiting and start executing. Stop overthinking and start doing. Stop doubting and start believing. Because at the end of the day, it isn't about what you know. It's about what you do with what you know. So ask yourself one final question. Are you going to keep running in circles? Or are you finally going to step forward? You clicked on this video for a reason, because deep down, you know you're meant for more. You feel it, that fire inside you, the hunger to be great. But most people, they ignore that fire. They settle. They let time slip away. They let the routine of mediocrity consume them. Not you. Not today. Today we destroy mediocrity. Today we break free. Is that going to be you? Because every morning they hit snooze. They drag themselves out of bed, sit in traffic, clock in, clock out. They're numb, lost, and stuck. Their days turn into weeks, weeks into years, and before they even realize it, life is gone. But you feel it, don't you? And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to break free. So the question is, what the hell are you going to do about it? Because knowing you need to change is one thing, but knowing where to go, that's everything. Most people never figure it out. They spend their lives drifting, showing up, going through the motions, waiting for something to happen. Not you. So let me ask you, what lights you up inside? What makes time disappear when you're doing it? What keeps you awake at night? Not because it stresses you out, but because you can't stop thinking about it. You feel it, don't you? That itch in the back of your mind, the fire in your gut, the thing you can't ignore. That's not random. That is your calling. And I know damn well you aren't happy where you are. You weren't put on this earth just to exist. You weren't meant to blend in. You were meant to stand out. You were meant to create, to build, to inspire, to lead. So let me ask you again, what fuels you? What makes you come alive? What would you chase even if no one paid you for it? Because the truth, passion isn't enough. Passion fades away when the grind gets hard. Passion disappears when you hit a wall. Passion won't drag you out of bed when the world is sleeping. That's where obsession takes over, because while you're hesitating, someone else is out there grinding, hungry, relentless. While you're making excuses, someone else is taking your spot. So how much longer are you gonna wait? People love the idea of success. They dream about it. They fantasize about standing on top, winning it all. But the second it gets hard, they quit. You don't get to the top without suffering. You don't get greatness without pain. The reality is, you'll either face the pain of growth or the pain of regret. And the second pain, it lasts a hell of a lot longer. You want success? Then you gotta earn it. Nobody is gonna give it to you. The road ahead is brutal. It's like running a marathon in the pouring rain when your legs are screaming for rest. But you keep going because you know there's a finish line. But the question, do you have the guts to keep running even when your body wants to quit? Even when you don't know where the finish line is? Because when it gets tough, most people, they fold. But you won't be here if you're like most people. So I'll ask you again, when it gets hard, when you're exhausted, when nobody believes in you, will you break or will you keep going? Because this path, it's not for everybody. Some will doubt you. Some will mock you. They'll laugh at you. And then the people who were once closest to you, they'll drift away. They won't get it. They won't see your hunger. They won't understand why you push so hard. And that's exactly how it has to be. You'll sacrifice time. You'll lose friends. You'll feel lonely. In fact, you'll feel like the whole world is against you at times. But if you're still here, that means you got fire. You got that spark. And I know you're not just here to waste time. So prove it. Drop a comment. Send this to someone who needs to hear it. Because words are empty without action. Because while others are waiting for the perfect moment, you're already making your move. Don't listen to them. Not for a second. Because you are not them. You don't want what they want. So stop doing what they do. You're here to rise above, to push past the noise, to create your own success story. One day when you're standing on top, they'll look at you in awe, begging to know how you did it. And you'll smile because you knew it all along. It wasn't luck. It was the work you put in, the decisions you made every single day. But today, you've already started. Today is the day you decide to be different. Today is the day you stop listening to the excuses, stop listening to the doubts, stop listening to the voices telling you that you can't. Because you're not one of them. You don't follow the crowd. You're here to make your mark. You're here to win. They'll call you crazy. They'll question your every move. They'll laugh at your vision, mock your ambition, tell you you're wasting your time. But they won't see what you see. They won't understand your hunger, your fire. They'll call you crazy. They'll doubt your every step. But when you've made it, when you've broken through all the walls, climbed the highest peaks, they'll call you a legend. And then they'll look back, wondering how you did it. But they'll never truly understand because they didn't have the courage to believe in themselves the way you did. So here's the real question. Are you ready to be delusional? Are you ready to believe in yourself so fiercely that nothing can stand in your way? Are you ready to break free from what everyone else says is possible and go after what you know is possible? Because that's the difference between the ones who make it and the ones who never even try. One day, you'll look back at this moment and realize this was the day that changed your life forever. But only if you act. Only if you stop waiting for the perfect moment. You've got one shot at this. One chance to break free. One chance to take control. So what's it gonna be? If you don't act, you're choosing to stay stuck. You're choosing mediocrity over greatness. This moment is your moment. The question is, are you gonna step up or keep drifting? If you want to take control of your life and live the reality you choose, this video is for you. Today, I'm breaking down the 3 most important lessons you need to finally take charge. Let me ask you something. Are you in control of your life, or is life controlling you? Right now, your habits, your relationships, your success, hell, your entire life is just a reflection of how much control you have over yourself. If you're not in control of your mind, your thoughts, your actions, then what are you really in control of? Nothing. You're just drifting away, letting life happen to you. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to stop drifting, how to take control, and how to start building the life you always dreamed of. Control isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. It's earned through hard choices, discipline, and grit. And it starts with one thing: awareness. If you don't know what's holding you back, you'll stay stuck. If you don't understand what's broken, you'll never fix it. But awareness isn't enough. Once you see the problem, you need focus. You've got to train your mind to stop being your enemy and start becoming your greatest ally. All the awareness and focus in the world doesn't mean shit if you don't act. Control is useless without action. But when you take control of your mind, your habits, and your life, that's when everything changes. You can't control what you don't understand. For years, I didn't understand that. I thought the way I was, my bad habits, my excuses, my failures, that was just who I was. I convinced myself this was just my life. I tell myself things like, "You're just unlucky. Other people have it easier. It's not your fault." And I believed it. I believed my own bullshit. I didn't even know what was holding me back. I never stopped to look in the mirror and ask myself why. And that ignorance, that was my prison. I remember sitting on my couch one night, just scrolling through Instagram for hours, watching people who seemed to have their lives together. And there I was, once again, doing nothing, just wasting time. But I kept lying to myself. Oh, I'll just start tomorrow. Except tomorrow never came. And next week turned into regret. And that's when I realized I wasn't lazy. I wasn't unlucky. I was just stuck because I refused to face the truth. I wasn't skipping the gym because I hated working out. I was skipping it because I hated feeling weak. I wasn't broke because life was unfair. I was broke because I wasn't doing the work. I wasn't stuck because the world was against me. I was stuck because I didn't even understand what I was running from. And once I started asking myself the hard questions, why are you doing this? Why are you holding yourself back? Everything started to change. The hardest part isn't taking action. It's being honest. It's looking in the mirror and admitting, yeah, I'm the problem. That's where the real work begins. Once you know what's broken, that's when you can start to fix it. You can't control what you don't understand. You can't fix what you won't confront. So here's my challenge for you. Think about that one habit, the one that's holding you back, and ask yourself, why do I keep doing this? Then write that down, because that's your first step to breaking free. You've got to control your mind. If you don't have control over your mind, you have nothing. Just think about it for a sec. Your mind affects everything. Your habits, your income, your relationships. Everything starts and ends with the way you think. If you want to change your life, I mean truly change your life for the better, you have to change the way you think. You have to learn the discipline of the mind. When you master your mind, you can extinguish the bad habits that hold you back and replace them with good habits, habits that pull you towards who you're meant to be. 40% of your daily actions are unconscious habits. Think about that. Nearly half of your life is happening on autopilot. But when you take control of your habits, you take control of almost half your life. Once you take control, change becomes simple. You don't like something about yourself? Change it. You don't want to be overweight anymore? Fine. Going to the gym and eating healthy isn't a chore. It's a habit you create through discipline. You don't want to be broke? Start stacking skills. Start doing things that build wealth, one step at a time. When your mind is strong, your body follows, your spirit follows, your relationship follow. Everything in your life will level up once your mind is leading the way. But you gotta be willing to put in the work. You gotta learn to control your mind. Take control of what you can control. Don't waste energy trying to control the uncontrollable. There's power in the process. If you already knew you were going to succeed, if the outcome was guaranteed, the journey wouldn't matter. It's the uncertainty, the challenges that make it worth it. The control you develop in the process shapes your decisions. Your decisions shape your responses. Your responses shape your actions. And your actions, they shape your life. Knowing what's wrong doesn't mean shit if you don't do something about it. Awareness is the first step, sure. Focus is the second. But action? Action is where the game changes. Without it, you're just a spectator in your own life. Most people spend their lives waiting for the right moment, waiting for motivation to strike, waiting until they feel ready. But let me ask you this, how's that working for you? You don't need the stars to align, you don't need a perfect plan. You just need to start. You don't like the way you look? Stop staring at the mirror feeling sorry for yourself. Go to the gym today. Don't overthink it. Put your shoes on, walk out the door, and move your body. You don't need a 6-week program or some fancy app. You just need to take the first step. You don't like being broke? Stop scrolling through Instagram comparing yourself to people who actually did the work. Pick a skill, learn it, suck at it, get better, and then stack it with another skill. That's how you create value. That's how you change your situation. Every action you take is a choice. Every choice is a vote, and every vote shapes who you become. Right now, you're voting for the person you're going to be tomorrow. So let me ask you, who do you want to be? No one is coming to save you. The life you want isn't gonna fall in your lap. It's not waiting for you at the end of some shortcut. And it's for sure as hell not something you stumble into by accident. It's built by you. If you don't understand what's holding you back, you'll stay stuck. If you can't focus, you'll waste your energy chasing distractions. And if you don't act, you'll stay exactly where you are, living a life you're not proud of, wondering why nothing's changing. Nothing changes if you don't. Control isn't some magical gift. It's earned, forged in the fire of hard decisions, discipline, and grit. Every time you choose to show up, every time you push when it's uncomfortable, every time you silence the excuse, you take back control. You don't like where you are? Change it. You don't like who you are? Rewrite it. You don't like your life? Rebuild it. This isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's about showing up every single day and fighting for the life you want because no one else will do it for you. You are the problem, but you're also the solution. So stop waiting. Control your mind, control your actions, control your fucking life.